All right. Hey, Mr. Ippolito students, this is Mr. Ippolito. It is 10:30 a.m. on Wednesday, March 18th. It is our official first day of distance learning. Here with me is Mr. Hahn. Mr. Hahn, how are things going?
Hello. Things are going good, sir. Yeah, very good. Hope everyone's being safe out there, washing y'all's hands, not shaking hands with others. Ooh.
For my part, I have been. I was just sharing with Mr. Hahn. I visited Target this morning. I was there before 8 o'clock. There was a long line. We had to get a few essentials, just as important essentials that we need for the home. So grabbed a couple things in Target. I was very pleased. Uh, everybody was kind and polite and friendly. Like it was a good time. Like it was all good. So my Target visit. Oh, and they let everybody 65 years and older. They let them in first. Like they had some time. They got a little bit of a head start, about a 10-minute head start um, before everybody else came in. And so my visit to Target this morning at 8 a.m. reaffirmed my faith in humanity. I think we're going to get through this, and we just need to be kind to each other and be patient, and it's all good. So okay, so Mr. Hahn,
Yes, sir.
we do have an agenda of things that we want to make sure that we get through. I'm also going to ask if there's somebody over here in the other room. The dog needs to be let out, and so the dog's scratching at the door to get out. So if one of my family members next door has the ability to let the dog out, I'm sure the dog would appreciate it very much. Okay, um, getting back to the agenda. So I am going to share my screen because this is new in the world of YouTube Live, right? Mr. Han and I, we tested this last night. It's very exciting. I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, we can both be on. And second of all, we can do some screen sharing now. Life is good. So you should be seeing my Google Classroom screen right now. And what I'm going to do, this is my plan. Of course, we can always adjust the plan and, kind of figure things out as we go along. But here's my plan is we're going to start off by going over the agenda, just like we would in class, just it's in a virtual format now. And then I just want to make sure that I explain everything. If you have questions, then I want to be able to answer those questions. Also, so Mr. Hahn, I'm a little concerned because I didn't get a notification, a YouTube notification saying that I was on live, and I've subscribed to myself. So, okay, I think we're good. I see it now, and I'm going to give a shout out to Alexa. So, hello, Alexa. I see you, and so good to see you. Okay, so here's my plan. We're going to go over the agenda. I'm going to go into period 2 because the agenda is the same for all of us, right? So, so I'm going to go over the agenda here. I have a posted new material. So I'm going to click here. It may look like a lot of stuff. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but I just want you to be. I just want you to see everything that we have on here. So this agenda is here for you in Google Classroom. It's there for all 4 of my history classes. So so you want to go ahead. I'm going to go over it. Essential questions and big ideas. We're going to talk about push-pull factors. This is over the next couple weeks that contributed to American westward expansion. In other words, what were those things? What were those factors that were pushing Americans out of the East Coast? And what were those factors that were pulling Americans toward the West, right? And there were several places in the West, as you have already learned and as you'll continue to learn, there were several places in the West, the Valley of the Great Salt Lake, which today is going to be is the state of Utah. People were pulled out to Oregon for various reasons, which you will learn about. People were pulled to California for various reasons. The biggest reason of which in the late 1840s, of course, was Mr. Hahn, the
Gold. Sorry.
Nice. No, I like the soccer reference there. That was very cool. So people were pulled into were pulled for several different reasons, and so those push-pull factors, we're going to be learning about those. And then the other essential question, big idea, is what did manifest destiny mean to different kinds of Americans, right? So So anyway, so those are our two essential questions and our big ideas, kind of the historical focus or focuses that we're going to have over the next few days. Your homework, you are getting homework, and you'll be able, as soon as Mr. Hahn and I get off this call, or this YouTube live rather, you can go ahead and jump right in. Our plan, let me just show you. I'm going to go over here to mrippolito.com because I want to show you the schedule. This is I think this is the last thing that I posted. Here we go. So if you're wondering kind of how this whole thing is going to work, today is our first day. So we've got the English block and the history block right here. So I think you were doing some sort of English work. I haven't talked to Miss N, but I think you were doing some sort of English work from 9 to 10:30, and then from 10:30 to noon every Wednesday, and then starting again following Monday, it's going to be our history block. So this is our sacred time. From 10:30 to noon on Mondays and Wednesdays, this is going to be our history time. So you can count on me and Mr. Hahn every Monday and every Wednesday at 10:30. We're going to come on, we're going to do a YouTube live. We'll kind of do what we do in class. I want to try to keep it as close to what our class looks like as possible, right? So in class, what are the things that we do usually at the beginning of class? You know, we do good things. You know, I go over the agenda. Here's what we're learning. This is what we're talking about. This is what's happening. So, so we're going to try to do that again for this class. But like I said before, so Mondays and Wednesdays, that 10:30 to 12 noon, you should not be working on any other work. That time is history time. That is sacred. We're going to start off with the live video. And then once the live video is done, that 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. time should be time at home when you are working on history. That's the plan. So so we're not going to talk for a whole hour and a half. My goodness, I hope not. I could, but I don't plan to talk for a whole hour and a half. Our plan is to talk for 15, 20, 25 minutes, maybe at the most. And then the rest of this block time between 10:30 and noon is going to be our time to give you to work on your history work. Okay, so now that we've gone over that, kind of gone over the schedule so you understand what that looks like. And then of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are dedicated to science and math. So, so there you go on that. Okay, back to Mr. Hahn, where am I going? Oh, I'm going back to the agenda.
The agenda, yes.
Back to the agenda. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this so we can see this even better. First of all, what's good? So what's good is we have 12 people now on the live chat. This is super exciting. I see Alexa. I'm going to give you another shout out. Janessa and Chloe, I'm going to give you a shout out as well. So if you want to put in the YouTube chat, you want to tell us what's good, you can tell us what's good. I've already kind of shared what I think is good. Mr. Hahn, I'm going to ask you in just a moment. But my Target visit this morning was good. Got a little fresh air. There was some ice on my windshield, so it was nice and cold this morning, which I loved. I love that cold, fresh air. I get to be home. My wife made a delicious St. Patrick's Day meal last night of corned beef and potatoes and cabbage, and it was delicious. And so that's my what's good, focusing on good things. And Anthony Castillo is on, so that's a good thing too. And Alexa says she might go to Starbucks during lunch today. Alexa, you can't sit in Starbucks. They're not allowing you to do that anymore, but you can definitely grab and go at the Starbucks. So Isabella Wensley, I'm going to give you a shout out as well. Mr. Hahn, what's good for you?
My brother-in-law just got a notification. Let me see if I can pull it up, what exactly it was, but it's his next step in becoming a doctor. So that's good. He got matched for the National Resident Matching Program. So he's on his way to becoming a no-joke doctor. I don't know what kind of doctor, but a doctor nonetheless. So.
Well, that's awesome, and congratulations to. Okay, so what? I know that there are several steps in becoming a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to go to your first 4 years of college for those students who may be interested in becoming doctors. You got to do your first 4 years of college, what's called undergrad, right? Your undergraduate study first.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hahn and I, we did undergrad not to prepare to be doctors. I don't think, Mr. Hahn.
Hope not.
Okay. But so you start off with 4 years of undergrad, and then after that you go to medical school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where is your brother in the whole med school journey?
Oh, my brother. Did I say my brother? I meant to say my brother-in-law. Ooh.
Oh, brother-in-law. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, he went to medical school in, geez, I want to say somewhere out there near Henderson in Nevada. That's right next to Las Vegas. And I believe and then so he's been there for the past, I want to say 2, 3 years. I want to say maybe more, probably more. Yeah, probably more. And then now that's all coming to an end, he put in an application to start his residency program. What was it? Nationwide, and he had to go all over the country, like Chicago, Virginia, New York, upstate New York, and then for interviews with all these programs. And then there's a whole lot of waiting with their fingers crossed to see if he got a match in one of these programs. He got a notification the other day saying that he did get a match. They just didn't quite say where. But it's like oh, okay, it's good that he got a match, but still gotta wait. Which one did he match with? So we'll figure out where they're going to be going shortly. I think by this weekend. So.
Well, good. Well, that is very good news for your brother-in-law, and I'm sure you did say brother-in-law, and I just didn't hear it right. So yeah. I apologize to you, Mr. Hahn.
Not a problem.
Mr. Hahn, speaking of, well, no, not speaking of anything, but I think that there are some students who are having a little bit of trouble. We had to reformat this, right? For those, clearly, those of you 18, the 18 folks that are on live, you have found it. But I think people are having a little trouble with finding, like I sent them to the channel, right? So
oh yeah, I noticed that the chann's not showing up the live, not showing the live stream. I had
so I'm not sure, but anyway, I want to reassure. I just sent out the link, like the live link. So I want to just make sure that we give people a couple more minutes, because I think that we do it differently, right? It used to be under the old format. I could send the link out in advance. Now when we're doing this through Zoom, we have to, and I think this is way better because you can see both me and Mr. Hahn, and we can do screen sharing. Like I think this is so much better, but it's just a little bit more difficult to share the link in advance to YouTube. At least I haven't figured that out yet. So while we're just waiting for a couple more people to join, I'm just gonna say hello to Cassidy McFatridge. Cassidy, you're on. Hello, Cassidy. Janessa, so hello, Janessa. Jeremiah, Max Meldrum, Nick Ramirez, Mr. Hahn. These are a bunch of your kids now.
Yeah, they are.
So that's nice. Max, Jeremiah, Beckham, and then if I didn't already say Nick Ramirez, it's Nick Ramirez. And that is only 7 minutes. Okay, I just want to make sure if I click on the link. Oh, the YouTube live test. Oh my. Okay, so all right. Clearly we have people here. So
did you post the wrong link, sir? Or oh yeah, you did.
I did post the wrong link.
I can post up the correct one. I got it right here.
Well, okay, so here's the correct link here, and I'm going to push this out again, and I'm going to say, oh my goodness. So sorry. Here is truly the correct link now. Okay, add link. There we go. I see you, Mr. Hahn, on the link. Okay. So I think we now have everybody. I think. And we're starting to see some more people now. We got 25 people on here now. So I think we're getting there. So for those of you who are just joining us, thank you so much for your patience. And I should also, you know what, Mr. Hahn, what I should also do is I should also go and delete the old one.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, so I'm going to go into period 2, and you all are so patient. Thank you. I'm going to go into period 2, and I'm going into period 4. And I'm going to make sure to delete these old links because these poor children are getting the wrong information. They're going to last night's test. Oh my goodness. Okay, delete that. Delete. Okay. Now let's see, because Caesar. Okay, so Caesar, I think Caesar said, okay, thanks. I think we're good now. I think we're getting more now that we've actually shared, now that I have actually shared the correct link. Okay, deleting this. This is period 6. Oh my goodness. Okay. So where are we now? We got 28 people. Brandon DeVore is here now.
Oh,
Angela,
I got 55 on mine.
What's that?
I have 55 watching on
Oh,
mine.
good. Okay, well then that's even better. Okay. So I feel like we have now, Kira is here, Damien is here, Angela is here. Angela, you're asking what is the code, and I'm not sure what that means. So Angela, if you can articulate or like be more specific on what you think that means and let me know. Oh, never mind. Okay. Amber is here, Tanner, Luca, Caesar, Michelle. See, everybody else is jumping in now. So I think we finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will say now again, Rachel Lamb, Antonella, everybody's jumping in now. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to reset. We're going to rewind. And I will say this. Hey, welcome. For those of you just joining us, we have been chatting for the last 16 minutes. Really haven't talked much about history, but I will go over what we've talked about so far. So Mr. Han and I, we have been going over the agenda. I am going to share. I'm going to do a little screen share here so you can see the copy of that agenda. Oh, we've got so many more people coming in now. We've got Nicholas, Tony, Braxton, Esther, Owen, AC, CJ, Grant Young. Did I say Braxton already? Brandon Stoker, Palak, Brendan Jones. It's Emily Swift. Hello. Hello to everybody. Okay. So if you're just joining us, here's what you missed. I pushed out the agenda for today. You can see the agenda right here in front of us. Mr. Han and I have been talking about Mr. Han's brother-in-law, who is on the path to becoming a doctor. And I talked about my trip to Target this morning, which was a very pleasant trip to Target, and everybody was wonderful and kind. I talked about the delicious dinner, Irish dinner that my wife cooked last night of corned beef and cabbage and potatoes. And I talked about essential questions and big ideas. I think that is pretty much. I think that's pretty much everything that we've talked about. Mr. Han, am I missing something that we've talked about so far?
That's it so far. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Antonella said you're streaming on your other account.
Ew.
Is that what happened? Am I streaming on my personal account? Oh, well, see, that could be. That's the reason I am streaming. Oh my goodness. I am streaming on my personal YouTube account. And so that's what's going on. That's the source of the confusion. So no wonder nobody could tap in, because that is totally, that's the reason. That's okay. I think we got everybody connected now. And I'm going to apologize to everybody for all the confusion. But now that we have everybody rocking and rolling, I think we're going to go ahead. Am I still screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So, so let me just kind of we'll go over the agenda. We've talked about what's good. Want to talk about a little bit about navigating distance learning and our Google Classroom environment. That was another thing that we talked about. So I went on to, you can find this in many places. It was emailed out to you. It's on the Heart District website. This is our distance learning schedule. It is on MrIppolito.com. It's really the last thing that, it's really the last thing that I posted on MrIppolito.com, because all the other stuff I'm going to be posting on Google Classroom. But in case there's any confusion, this time right now, Mondays and Wednesdays, this is our sacred time for history. From 10:30 to noon is our history time. So hopefully you already did some English work from 9 to 10:30. You will be doing some math and science. You'll be doing science tomorrow at 9 a.m. and you'll be doing math tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So hopefully we got that all worked out and ready to go. And please feel free to let me know if there's a problem, if there's any kind of concern with with any kind of interference or anything that you can see with like if there were classes clashing with each other, because we want to make sure that we get that all figured out. Okay. And Gage, I don't know who you are, Gage, because you're not in my class, but I'm going to give you a shout out as well, Gage. And Maria and Yusuf as well. Okay. We're continuing to go over the agenda here. So we talked about what's good. We talked about navigating distance learning. Again, if you're just joining us, we're just kind of in the first part of the agenda here. Next thing I want to talk about is ending Q3 and what that's going to look like. So what I am encouraging you to do is I want to make sure that you have all of your classwork done up through the Andrew Jackson debate. So what that means is any work that I'm assigning this week, right? So on this agenda right here, this map, reading and taking note, like all of the stuff here, the fourth quarter starts next week. So I'm going to put that stuff into the fourth quarter grade. Really, I am focused now, and I still have to finish. There's still some classes where I'm still continuing to put in the grades. So I still have more grades to put in, but that's where we're going to stop. Really, the last assignment is going to be the Andrew Jackson debate. Mr. Hahn, help me out. The Andrew Jackson notes, the Andrew Jackson post-debate survey. Does that make sense, Mr. Hahn?
That's about as far as I can think.
Okay.
The notes, the survey, the post-debate survey, and yeah, that's all I can think of so far. I'll have to go through my records to check.
Okay. Mr. Hahn, can you do me a favor? Because there are a couple of emails. I have a couple of parents who are a little, they're trying to find, because it was my mistake because I put it on my other YouTube channel. Could you take us through a little bit more of the agenda? Could you talk us through a couple of these things while I go and respond to these emails?
Sure. Where have we gotten so far?
We just finished with number 2. Just like
number 2.
Make sure all of your work is complete. And,
right. Okay.
And then how the makeup. We just got to how the makeup and late and absent work is going to work.
Okay.
And then if you, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that if you're in a position where you could share your screen, could you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see here. If I can get this right. There we are. Okay, so this is Google Classroom, and the next bit on the agenda, if we can bring it up, there we are. Oh, zoom in a bit, not that much. Okay, so the next bit on the agenda is if you have makeup, late, or absent work, please turn it in through the Q3 makeup work portal. Say that 5 times really fast, you'll get $1. What was it? That's going to be located in the week of March 16th on 2020 in the classroom tab. So let's take it on over there so nobody's confused. So if you head over from the main page on Classroom, here we are, the classwork tab at the top. Scroll down, you'll see week of March 16th right here at the very top. Close the agenda part, and then we have the makeup work portal, and this is only if needed. Of course, if you're missing anything and you need to turn it in, you turn it in here. This is period 4, I believe, but it should be the same across all class periods, 2, 5, and 6 as well. So click here, the makeup work portal. What was it? Use the assignment. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh my gosh, technical difficulties. There we go. So use this portal to turn in any other makeup, missing, or absent work from any other part of the quarter. What you're going to do is, if you have a scanner at home, scan the assignment, whatever. What was it? The paper, and then submit that into this the portal here. Or if you don't have a scanner, you can just take a picture. We've had a couple of students here turn in a couple of things already. What was it? But yeah, like I said, if you have a scanner, that works out. What was it? That'll work out best. But if you don't have one, You can use your phone, take a picture, or scan using your phone as well, and you can submit that into the Makeup Work portal as well. And then we'll we'll get notified, and we'll take a look-see at it, and then we will we will grade it and submit it through Infinite Campus, and all will be well. I think that covers down on that bit. Let's move on to the next part here. All work for this week. We're on number 4. All work for this week is going to be due on Friday, March 20th. That is this Friday, March 20th. And that's pretty much how it's going to be for the duration of our remote learning period. All work for the week is going to be due each Friday at 11:59 p.m. And but both Mr. Ippolito and I reiterate, you do not need to wait until late Friday night to turn in your assignments. Please get it in beforehand. Like, we don't, nobody needs to be up until almost midnight turning in homework assignments like that. It's best if you just get it done ahead of time. That way you're not panicking. You can actually look over your stuff and make any corrections if need be. So just to reiterate, all work for this week is due Friday, March 20th. And then for the upcoming weeks of remote learning, all the work that will be assigned to you that particular week will be due on the Friday of that week by 11:59 p.m. But please get it done beforehand. Okay, moving on, we have the Manifest Destiny Unit Exam Review Study Guide 2020. Say that 4 times really fast, and I'll give you $20. It's not due until Friday, April the 3rd, but we're going to give it to you here early. There was I believe it was last week, we were handing it out to period 2. Period 2 got a paper copy. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ippolito. And then I also passed it out to whichever students that I could find during homeroom. But in the event that you did not get it, we do have it here. On Google Classroom, ready and available, a digital copy. That should be able to work really well. We go back, and it's located in the week of March 30th, way in the future. Just click on this here. The assignment. Oh no. I'm still learning how to navigate Google Classroom. All right, here we are. So the plan right now is to go over the entirety of the Manifest Destiny Study Guide after we return from spring break. Right now, we're still on track to come back after spring break. And then we're going to do a YouTube. So we're going to be going over the study guide, which hopefully everybody should have completed over the course of our classes at home. And then once we come back, we're going to be going over the study guide. And then afterwards, we're going to be doing a YouTube live exam review like we normally do for before each exam. That's going to be done after spring break as well. And then we're going to be giving the Manifest Destiny unit exam towards the end of the week after we return. Not the week that we return, but the end of the week after we return. So the week of Mr. Ippolito's birthday, April the 13th. Oh, wait, no, I'm reading it wrong. It is the week that we return. It's going to be the Manifest Destiny unit exam is going to be at the end of the week when we return from spring break, aka April 13th, aka Mr. Ippolito's birthday. So don't stress on don't stress on completing all of this right now. It's a lot of work. I will say that. We do we do suggest that you, however, fill it in over time as we go over the lessons these next couple of weeks. That way, it's not all at once towards the very end, and it's all done at a nice pace. And it'll be a good time. Let's see here if I can open it up. All right. Oh no, what was that? Oh. Here we go. So as you can see, this is just about the same thing. If you have the paper, if you received the paper copy of it last week before we went on lockdown, This is the same exact thing. It's just that now it's not, we uploaded it onto Google Docs. It's a digital copy. You all should have received a copy that you can edit yourselves, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to type in your response, you can double click right here in the space, and then and type in your response.
Mr.
if
Hahn.
need be. Yes, sir.
Hey, can I jump in for a moment? So we were having quite an issue. It was just a lot of students who were clogging up the chat with a bunch of nonsense. So I went ahead and shut the chat down, which is unfortunate, because there are students who actually use it to try to ask legitimate questions. But just so many students who were just blowing it up with stuff that's not helpful. So what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to switch over to, if you have questions during the live chat, I would still love to help you. I just need for you to email those questions in, because I just had to shut down the chat. It was getting out of control and really unhelpful. So Mr. Hahn, I apologize for interrupting. Okay, so I'm seeing that your Manifest Destiny Unit Exam Review Study Guide looks a little different. It's got black boxes instead of blue boxes.
That's probably because of the dark reader here.
Just because you're in dark mode. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right, thank you.
Yeah. So it should be looking like this. What was it here? These shaded areas where it says your response here. These are the areas that you can type in your responses. What was it? You can use either either version if you want, the paper copy or the digital copy. It goes all the way from this 2-pager here itself, but as you fill it in, it should probably expand out to 3 or 4 or however have you. Let's see. But yeah, like I said earlier, as we progress through the unit from home, what was it? We encourage you to fill in the responses here as we go along. That way, towards the end of it all, towards the end of spring break, when we're scheduled to come back, you're not scrambling to put it all in one. What was this? So you're not scrambling to put in, I don't know, like 40 questions all in one time period. That nobody wants to scramble. So it'd be better to just go fill it in as you go, as you learn it all, and that way, it's a good learning experience rather than a panicky one. Let's see.
Mr. Hahn.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if you did a great job. Thank you for sharing that on the Manifest Destiny Unit Exam Review Study Guide. I just want to reiterate that this is not this is due far into the future. I know you said that before.
Yes.
But just far into the future. So, but just something to, as you're learning this, you can fill it in. And like I said, we're going to go over it on the week of, I think I even put that in the agenda. I put that, I didn't put that in this agenda here, but I did go ahead and put that in the description when I pushed it out on Google Classroom. So Mr. Hahn, do you mind if I swap screen sharing now?
By all means, here we go.
All right, thank you. Okay. So hello, and Mr. Hahn, thank you. I was dealing with, I had to respond to a couple of parents who had emailed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We had to, we had to switch the live stream up. And then I also had to just shut that chat down. So thank you. So if you're emailing, the email is a great way. I have some questions here. First of all, how do you turn things in on Google Classroom? I just want to reiterate, because somebody had that question, or how do you turn in, I think it was specifically late work on Google Classroom. So again, this right here, let me just make this clear to all the students, all the parents who are watching right now. This is, you don't have a grades tab because that's for teachers, but this right here, the stream, classwork, and people, you have these 3 tabs up at the top. This right here is the way that I'm going to organize information for you as we do this distance learning thing. We all need to be patient. We all need to, we just all need to understand that this is a big adjustment for everybody. Like, teachers need to be understanding of students and the adjustment that they're going through. Just like students need to just be understanding and patient of teachers as we go through this adjustment as well. Right here, the week of March 16th, you'll notice, Mr. Hahn, did you go over this already? All the items on the list here?
Ballpark, I
Okay.
believe so.
Okay, so agenda, you'll notice this icon right here, this is materials. So what this icon means is there's nothing to turn in here. It's just our agenda for today. This right here, One Family's Journey, this family activity, this is something, so we did this in my second period class, we did this on Friday, and it was a lot of fun. It's a play reading, and it's called One Family's Journey. It's like Reader's Theater. And so there's nothing to turn in. This is just a family activity that you can do either with your family at home, or you can do it with friends. But it's just an opportunity to get a better idea of what life was like on the Oregon Trail through a dramatic play reading, and it's like 7 pages. And so it's a lot of fun. But again, you'll notice this is the materials icon, which means there's nothing to turn in. So I just attached the PDF of the script, and then I attached a map of the Oregon Trail. Like I said, we already did a reading together in my second period class, but obviously because A day was our last day on Friday, we didn't get a chance to do that with the rest of the classes. Territorial Expansion Map, you have already done this. This was work that was already assigned last week. And so that is something that you should already have done and ready to turn in. The thing is, you just need to take a picture of it, right? So either with a webcam or with your phone, or with a scanner, or ask mom and dad for help if you don't have access to those technologies. Then just scan that and turn it in. I should also say, on the subject of turning stuff in, we're obviously, again, we're doing it. This is a different thing we have going on. So to the best of your ability, please stay on top of assignments and turn them in. But if the technology makes it so that you can't do it, if you are, I'm going to turn off my screen sharing for a moment, just because I want you to see my face when I say this. If your family situation, caring for younger siblings, or like whatever the situation you have going on, everybody's family is different, everybody's situation is different. So the most important thing right now is that you are taking care of your health and your family's health, and like you are good yourself and as a family. If then beyond that you're able to get some work done, please do it, and please turn it in. Again, to the best of your ability. We're going to be understanding and patient during this time. So thank you for being understanding and patient with us. And in return, we're going to be understanding and patient with you. But we're going to try to, as much as possible, we're going to try to create that sense of like normalcy and giving you stuff to keep you busy during this time, so you're not just sitting around bored at home, and your parents don't have you sitting around bored at home either. This right here, this is the Q3 makeup work portal. I think Mr. Hahn already went over this. That's for any makeup work. You need to scan, take a picture, scan, and submit it through there, turn it in through there. The Great Family Listen, that was the Great Thanksgiving Listen that we updated. That's optional. And then restroom passes. For the restroom passes, make sure your name is clearly on there before you take a picture and submit it through there. Again, you help make my life and Mr. Hahn's life so much easier, especially my life, because I'm in charge of grading. If you submit through the Google Classroom portal, rather than trying to email stuff, because email can get lost. But if you submit it all through Google Classroom, it stays organized. Okay, Mr. Hahn, how are we doing?
Doing good, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the agenda now. And again, thank you for your patience. This might be a little bit longer, especially since it took us a little while to make sure we have everybody on. But I really appreciate everyone's patience and understanding as we get through all this. Okay, I'm going to go back to the agenda. I know I keep clicking back and forth. I apologize. I'm going to go back to our agenda now. And so I think we talked about all this. We probably Mr. Hahn talked about it, and then I talked about it. So I'm sorry if you got it twice. I just want to make sure that we get that. Finally, 30 Days of Kindness. I pushed that out to you as well. This is a wonderful thing that the Character Strong program is doing. And so for any parents who are watching, this is also a great thing to get the whole family involved in, is that 30 Days of Kindness. And that 30 Days of Kindness you can find that I have put, we'll go back here. I'm going to go into the classwork stream here. And here's 30 Days of Kindness. It's under Distance Learning Resources. And so good. I have been so busy this morning, I haven't even checked out today's challenge, but today's challenge is, and there's a video from the founder of Character Strong, the Character Dare program at Houston Craft, every day. So here's your challenge: is challenge three friends to send you a picture of what they believe will most make you say, "Aw." So it's just really fun challenges like that, kindness challenges. You can post these, on social media, challenge your friends, and just really cool stuff. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well, the 30 days of kindness. I'm going back to the agenda now. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some history stuff really quickly, and then I'm going to give remaining time to go ahead, and if you would like to get some history work done after we go over this agenda, then I want you to jump right into that. Sawyer asked, "Is this all we're doing today? Don't we have work to do," or something like that. So Sawyer, to answer your question, a lot of it is just kind of explaining what we're doing. But here's where we get to the history part. So I'm very excited. Territorial Expansion Map. We've already talked about this. Turn it in. If you don't have the paper copy of the map, everyone should have gotten this during class last week. You got a paper copy. If you don't have a paper copy, then you click right here, Territorial Expansion Map. You click there and you print this. If you don't have a printer at home, then you email me and I will drop a copy of the Territorial Expansion Map in the United States mail and send it to you. I want to make sure that you have a chance to get this done. So that's the map. That is due by this Friday. Your homework is going to be to read and take notes on Chapter 9, Section 1 and Chapter 9, Section 2. I already assigned this in my second period class. Other classes, you haven't seen this yet. This is your first time seeing this. This is all on this. We're starting our new Manifest Destiny unit. I've had a couple students say, "Mr. Ippolito, I don't have my book. I can't find my book. My book is over at another house. What do I do?" Hey, not to worry, because Mr. Hahn and I were looking out for you. We scanned a couple days ago. If you click here, we scanned the textbook for you. Are we violating copyright? I'm almost certain that we are, but under the circumstances, I think the textbook publisher will understand. So here it is. Again, you can see like, oh, there's Mr. Hahn's thumb. You can see like it's a little curved. Like this is this is definitely like scanned right out of a textbook, but you can definitely do all the reading right there. And so that is your reading for 9-1 and 9-2. And then finally, the second part of your homework is you are going to play a Kahoot challenge. Now, this is brand new. We've never done this in our class. You might have done it in other classes, I'm not sure, but we've never done this in our class. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this link here. I don't know if you have to enter the game pin or not. There's the game pin 06437.
The game pin is for the mobile app, sir. If you click just the link.
Oh, if you just click the link, then it'll take you right in. Okay, so
if you're on a desktop, then you click on the link will take you to the game. But then if you're on a mobile app, that's what the pin's for.
Got it. So if you click on this link, you're going to put your name in. Oh, already a bunch of people have played, or a bunch of people are in or have played. I don't even know. This is brand new. I'm still checking it out. So that's kind of fun. And so you can play that. And then if we go, so if you want to see the leaderboard, I'm guessing that people have already played and we can see a leaderboard, maybe? No. Okay. I think you have to have already played on the computer. Like I played on my computer at school before my classroom got shut down. Nothing dangerous, nothing harmful. They're just as a precaution. If I don't want to panic anybody. They asked teachers to please, they're going to start just as a precautionary measure, disinfecting on the classrooms. And so they asked all teachers to be out after Tuesday. There were a lot of teachers on Monday and Tuesday who were in there working, planning and getting stuff finished up. So that's not to panic you or anything. It's just a precautionary measure they're doing all across the district. So that will be starting around the district starting tomorrow. So that's all that I need to say about that. Okay. So after you are finished playing, then you can see the leaderboard and you can see where you rank in the game. I would ask that you please, because I'm going to try to give a grade on this, like a participation grade at least on this. So if you could please use your real first and last name, that would be super helpful when you are signing up to play this Kahoot. Please use your real first and last name, or at least your real first name and your last initial. Just so that we can, we can get that, we can, track everybody down. Okay. Anthony Castillo just emailed and said, is the reading and the Kahoot due Friday? Yes. to make things easier, I am going to, in my class, I don't know what other teachers are doing, but in my class, everything is going to be due on Friday. So today is Wednesday, and everything else is going to be due on Friday. So yes, so all work is going to be due each and every Friday. Okay, I think, Mr. Hahn, is there anything else we need to talk about?
I think we've covered the vast majority of it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop screen sharing now because we have been on now for like 45 minutes. And I said like 15, 20, 25 minutes, which I think typically we will do. Typically, it's going to be a shorter video. Here's one more thing that I would like to do, though. I am going to, after we stop, Mr. Hahn, I am going to, I'm going to try to invite any students or parents, for that matter, who want to ask questions. I'm going to push our code. What am I trying to say? Our Zoom meeting code.
Ah.
I'm going to push that out so that after we stop, because I'll turn off the live pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a link here. I can stop live stream. So in just a moment, I'm going to stop the live stream. I'm going to answer a few more questions, but I'm going to stop the live stream. And then anyone who is like, hey, Mr. Polito, I still have questions, or I just want to interact with other people in the class, we can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to push that out on Google Classroom in just a moment. But first, we have a couple more questions. How do we turn things in on Google Classroom? I think we answered that already. Did we get the study guide on paper? Did you talk about the study guide on paper?
I said period 2 got the study guide on paper the week before this crisis, for lack of a better term. But then there's a digital copy posted in on Classroom as well. It's posted in the week of March 30th. That one's not due until April.
April
like way
3rd.
later.
Friday, April 3rd.
Later on down the line, nowhere near.
So Mr. Hahn we handed it out to all of period 2. Mr. Hahn was frantically trying to get them to as many Amazon students as possible on Friday afternoon, the paper copy. If you have the paper copy, then you can do that. If you prefer the digital copy, then you can do that. If you only have the digital copy, then do that. So Dylan Turgo, hopefully I answered your question on that. And Anthony said, thank you. So you're welcome. Shivani says, do we need to turn in the notes for reading 9.1 and 9.2? I am not going to collect the notes. I think the notes are just for your benefit, Shivani. So just hang on to those notes. Eventually, I am planning to have, after spring break, a Manifest Destiny unit exam. Now, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that we all get to see each other again at school after spring break. However, I am also aware of the reality that Governor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom, who you know is our governor because you learned that in our for preparing for our civics exam back in December. The governor has said that there is a possibility that school may be out for much longer than that. So so we need to be. My mentality is prepare for the worst but hope for the best, right? So I'm hoping that we can come back after spring break and I can give you in my classroom. I can give you a Manifest Destiny unit exam. That is my hope and my wish and my dream. If I can't, we're going to find a different way to do that and we'll figure that out. But we got a little bit of time to worry about that. But I would say all your map, your notes, all this stuff, just hang on to it with the understanding that there is going to be some sort of assessment of your learning at the end of this unit, because I want to know how much you learned on Manifest Destiny. So so that's the question for that. Grant says, will we get credit for the notes? Just hang on to them for now, Grant. Anthony, the reading in the Kahoot due Friday. Yeah, please try to do the Kahoot by this Friday, please. However, I will let you know this. So the Kahoot, I told you I want to give you points for having participated in the Kahoot. But like I said, all of this work, today's agenda, that work is going to go into Q4. The last thing in the grade book, I said this earlier, but if you just jumped on, the last thing that's going to go into the grade book is the Andrew Jackson, all the debate stuff for Andrew Jackson. And Anthony, yes, you said the Kahoot is a grade. I am planning to give you a participation grade for playing the Kahoot. Yes. Okay. Alex Mia asked, I want to know, I think I need to, this is a longer question. I'll answer you separately. Kira says, that's another longer question. Dylan Turgo asks, the study guide we fill in, I already answered that question. Okay. I think I'm done answering questions. However, if you have additional questions, what's going to happen is this. Like I said, I'm going to turn off the live stream, and Mr. Han and I are going to wave goodbye in just a moment. And then in like 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to share the Zoom link with you. So if you would like to, chat with us, like video conference chat, then you totally can. There's a Zoom app you can use on your phone, or you can also go onto a computer and jump in. But I think if you're on your phone, you have to use the Zoom app. But I'll send out that code in just a moment. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much. This is a wild first day and full of lots of stuff, and so thank you for sticking with us through it all. Mr. Han, any final words before we sign off on the live chat?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and to all those watching on YouTube Live, I'm going to go ahead and bid a fond farewell and say thank you very much. I'm going to stop the live stream, and then in just a moment, we will go ahead and we'll switch over. If you have additional questions, jump on the Zoom call. Mr. Han and I will be there on the Zoom until 12 noon, at which time our history class period is over. But if you have any questions, email is a great way, and also Google Chat as well, chat.google.com, or you can download the Google Chat app on your phone, and that's a way to contact us as well. Thank you so much. Stopping the live stream now. Look for the Zoom if you want a video conference. Any more questions? The Zoom link will be going in about a minute or two on Google Classroom. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.